flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills. That actually increases the money supply.
Financial Turmoil Explained.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show on this Tuesday, the 17th of May, 2022. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad to have you guys here. Now, we're going to get right in there, and we're going to start the charts right here and take a look at what's going on. You know, the Twitter deal with Elon Musk. Well, it looks like they're asking the question, is the Twitter deal dead? And Elon Musk seems to suggest that it was, unless he can buy the company for a lower price, in light of the botgate, which erupted over the weekend. Now, what is the botgate? Well, it's a question of how many bots are on the site. Or in other words, I guess what bots are artificial humans. In other words, it's a robot or a computer that's pretending to be a human on the site, I guess. That's what it is. And so, at least that's what I think it is anyway, these bots. And so Musk, he wants real people on the site, not just a bunch of bots. And he's questioning here how many are bots on the site. Now, as far as Donald J. Trump is concerned, it says he has made a statement here. And he says there is no way Elon Musk is going to buy Twitter at such a ridiculous price, especially since realizing it is a company largely based on bots or spam accounts. Fake anyone. By the time you get rid of them, if that can be done, what do you have? Not much. If it weren't for the ridiculous billion-dollar breakup fee, Elon would have already been long gone. Just my opinion, but Truth Social is much better than Twitter and is absolutely exploding in incredible engagement, he says. Now, that's what Donald Trump said about this purchase. So, anyway, it looks like Elon Musk is very dissatisfied with buying Twitter right now because he's worried about how many of these accounts could be fake on Twitter. It says the controversy began Friday after Musk tweeted that in a Reuters article, Twitter estimate that fake accounts compromise less than 5% of users, to which Musk said the Twitter deal temporarily is on hold pending details supporting calculation that spam fake accounts do indeed represent less than 5% of users. Then added, still committed to acquisition. How many are bots? I don't know. It would be hard to tell, wouldn't it? Because they try to fake to be a human, a bot would, and it'd be hard to root them out. And it is a valid point. If you buy a company like that, it's supposed to be all humans on there, and it's just a bunch of robots, I mean, it's going to affect the price. Now, another things I want to talk about this morning is something that's happening in the United Kingdom, or England, you know. There's been 7 cases reported of something that's called Monkeypox. And I guess it's a sister virus or something very similar to smallpox, except not quite as deadly. And this is what's bad about it. What I've spotted is, in the United Kingdom, is that of these 7 cases that have been reported, only one has a travel history. In other words, that they can trace back to where the monkeypox comes from. And this would be a strong indicator. This doesn't mean absolutely for certain that it's traveling from human to human. But this is a strong indicator that it probably is, because these people, these 6 people that's caught it, only one's had a travel history back to tracing it back. It says 7 cases of monkeypox have been reported in the United Kingdom in May of 2022 by health agencies. The World Health Organization, WHO, is also taking note of the situation. The first case was reported on May 6th, 2 more cases on May 14th, and 4 more cases have been reported on May 16th. So it's like doubling. The first case was reported May 6th, and then 2 more on May 14th, and then 4 more cases on May 16th. It looks like a small outbreak to me. I mean, that many patients, and they haven't been traveling. It says the first patient developed the rash on April 29th, a patient who had been on a trip to Nigeria, right? So all the rest of these cases, they haven't been to Nigeria, you know? Now, one of the things that's bad about this is it's got a very long incubation time. Now, when a virus is incubating, that means it's in your system. You've caught it, basically. But it's growing in your system, and you don't know you have it. Why a viruses with a long incubation time are very dangerous is because the person doesn't know they have it. They can be spreading it to other people who in turn don't know they have it either, who can be then spreading it to other people who then in turn don't know they have it. And then finally they come down with it. By the time they come down with it, they've been out there for how long spreading it to other people. That's why, in a simple explanation of why a virus with a long incubation time is very dangerous that way. But on the other side of this coin, this virus is probably more difficult. In other words, you have to have more close contact, in other words, to catch it. And so we're going to be watching this virus very carefully over the next couple weeks. And why a couple weeks is because of this incubation period. This is why I'm going to be watching it for the next couple weeks to see if it starts to spread out to a wider area in the United Kingdom. Nothing to be alarmed over just yet, but it would be a different, probably some sort of a different, very different than the COVID thing that we've been through for the last couple of years. This would be more of more akin to viruses that are more difficult to catch. You have to have, in other words, close contact. More than likely, well, we're hoping. That's what I'm hoping. It takes close contact, and it's not something you can catch quite readily or easily. We're gonna have to wait and see on this one. I keep my eye on these viruses ahead of time for you guys out there. And so I'm keeping my eye on this. My tendency is to think that in the next couple of weeks, they're probably going to get a handle on it. The health authority in the United Kingdom is probably going to get a handle on this one, I think, but I'm not sure. That's why I keep an eye on it for you guys. Okay, we're looking at a silver price today of $21.68. It's up 8 cents on the day so far. In other words, that monkey virus I was talking about a second ago. Don't worry too much about it, guys. I think they're going to get control over it. I think. Now, I'm not absolutely certain over that, but I think they're probably going to get control over it in the United Kingdom. But it's spreading around in the United Kingdom, and it might be a good idea, to be careful. And it's always a good idea to wash your hands and to practice not getting too close to people, especially if they're coughing or sneezing or if they got bumps all over them, or something, not to get too close to people, It's always a good idea. Ever since this COVID thing, it pays to be careful out there. You don't know what somebody else might have or be spreading around nowadays, Pitiful, but that's the way it is nowadays. Anyway, look, silver price today, $21.68 today. It's up 8 cents. Oh, now it's up 11 cents. We've been having a pretty good little price comeback in silver and gold the last couple days. It's bouncing back. Gold today is at $18.26. It's up $2.50. Now let's take a look at cryptocurrency today, and we're seeing a price of 30,647. Now, I know you've heard all these stories about crypto might go down to $10,000 and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, maybe it's true for a very limited period of time. But here's the thing. The Fed is creating financial conditions. They're being very, very tight, and they have this mindset that they're going to kill inflation now at this point. And they're coming in hard and strong, and they're only going to come in harder and stronger. over the next period of time. This is putting a black cloud over the markets. And as the markets descend and fall, cryptocurrencies are risk on asset class. And so it's going to suffer with the markets until the markets turn around. There's going to come a turnaround point for these markets and for cryptocurrencies. And I'm trying to stay on top of it. I'm going to try to tell you guys when we hit that turnaround point. I only think we're halfway through the bad stuff yet. You know, we're right in the middle of it. The Fed's right on to tighten. It's going to take a mindset change for the Fed. And what's going to induce that mindset change is a depression. They are going to generate a depression, not a recession. They are going to generate a depression. It's probably going to be a rapid decline in the markets following the trigger for this rapid decline would be you got to watch in the debt market, in the bonds. If we see these bonds yields start to pop up higher, you know, it's one of the things I'm watching, you know, is in the bond yields. And we do have them going up today, the bond yields. I'll tell you, right now there's a bit of a milkshake thing going on, and this is one of the things that's keeping these bond yields in check, you know. But the thing about it is you have to understand this is we're on very shaky ground in the financial system right now. Liquidity is moving around the system and causing a lot of volatility. And this is just shaky ground you get in. Well, look, you got to understand what propped these markets up to begin with was cheap, easy money. And they're drawing that cheap, easy money away. And it's a no-brainer. They're popping the bubbles. That's what the Fed's doing. And they're going to continue doing that until they can't. Until they've popped them, and then they're going to say, oh no, we've popped all the bubbles. We got to get in there and we got to repair this damage. This is inevitable. It has to happen this way. And so, anyway, I'm rambling a little bit here. Got to get moving on. So basically what they're setting up for you guys is buying opportunities in the very near future. If you've got any capital left to buy with. You know, that's the thing. But there's going to be a tremendous buying opportunity because on the other side of this, we got tremendous inflation, or if not hyperinflation, coming down the pike. And if you buy at the bottom, when sentiment is at its very worst, that's how you really make the big bucks, you know. Anyway, listen, guys, let's take a look now at Dow Jones, and it's up 417 points. It is rallying back a little bit into an awful lot of volatility. Well, now it's 350 points upwards, 32,509. You know, this market has been actually crashing for the last year. And it's been actually crashing pretty big time. We haven't, it was 34, 35, 36,000. And in the last year, we haven't went anywhere. In fact, it's went down. Now it's 32,000 instead of 34 or 35,000. Now it's 32,000. The market's actually went down. Now, why I say this market is crashing is this is a silent crash. Because inflation over the last year's robbed 15 or 20% of what this stock market was valued at a year ago when it was like 35,000. Now it's 32,000. These dollars that are in this market can only buy 85% of what they could buy a year ago. So when you calculate that, I'm being probably conservative too. It's probably more like 20%. So they can only buy, these dollars can only buy 80% of what they could buy a year ago. But the market's even down. It's not even up at 35,000 anymore. It's 32,000. When you calculate and you add those two together, a 20% decline in the purchasing power of the dollars that's in this market, and that's a 20% drop right there. And then when you add the 32,000 instead of 35,000, which is what, another 5% or something? It's like a 25% decline in the market over the last year. Will it do the same thing again next year? Maybe the market will go up to 100,000 next year. But the dollar will lose most 99% of its purchasing power. You see where I'm going with this? So even if the market's going up, it can still be a crash. Just a crash you can't see. So anyway, that's just what I wanted to say there. Anyway, let's move on and let's take a look at crude oil at $114, which is really high, you know. How much can they afford? How much can the system afford to pay for crude oil and diesel and gas prices and stuff before that alone is crushing to the system? Let's take a look at the MOVE index today, 117.95. So the MOVE index actually has been coming down just a little bit. But if we take a look at the 1 year here, 1 month, where's the year? Is this it? 1 month, 6 months. There, 6 months. You can see the trend. But anyway, let's take a look at bonds and rates today, and we're seeing rising yields today. 10 years at 2.975 and the 30 years at 3.16, and we're up about 9 basis points on the 10-year today. So it started trudging upwards again, bond yields. And let's take a look at the dollar index today at 103.45. Thank you guys for listening to my show. And listen, guys, I'm going to tell you, I got my first video up and running over there at Patreon. So, and if you go over to Patreon, it says $5 a month, right? But it's actually $1 a month. So, what I'm going to be producing over there is about anywhere between 4 and 8 podcasts. And the podcasts are about 30, 40 minutes long in a month. And they can be anything from soup to nuts as far as what I'm going to talk about on them. Some of them will be about the news that's happening right now, what's going on in the news. Other ones, gosh knows what I'll talk about. I might talk about ancient history. I might talk about the unidentified aircraft phenomenon that's been occurring for ages. You know, I might go back into the history of that because, you know, I studied ufology for a very long time, you know. An awful lot of cases of paranormal and things like that. I'm very interested in for many, many years. I might talk about things like that. Gosh knows what I'll talk about. I might talk about the situation and geopolitically in the world and everything. You know, I'm just gonna over there. You know, it's just more or less my my hodgepodge or whatever. It's whatever I think to talk about. You know, and anyway, so it's only $1 a month over there, and I'm finally got the first program up and running. You know, so. We'll be producing 1 or 2 programs a week over there on a consistent basis. And so if you want to find it over there, it's Financial Turmoil Explained over there. And maybe I'll put in a link today, you know, so you guys can go over there and join. Now, what I'm counting on is getting a whole bunch of people over there, you know, and to watch the podcasts and stuff. It'd be really great. So anyway, thank you guys for listening to my show. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the very next show. Bye-bye.